Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to this session on CUET 2023. So finally, we are close to the examination now. The exam is scheduled to start on Sunday, and I'm sure some of you guys have already got the city intimation slip for your exams. Some of you are still waiting for that, but don't worry, it will be released very soon for everyone. So, today we are going to talk about something very specific, very important, though it may sound trivial, but it is very important to follow some guidelines before you go to the actual examination hall. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about a couple of things which are very, very important as far as the exam is concerned. So, let us quickly look at what I'm going to discuss today. So, I'll be first talking about the latest updates about the exam. So, there are some important information which I believe needs to be shared. I'll also be talking about, while the session was all about the checklist, do's and don'ts about CUT 2023, but I believe with just 3 days to go for the examination, it is very important to understand what should be your last mile prep strategy. Equally important is the exam day strategy, something which you have worked for all this time actually. Strategy is something which is very, very important, so you need to follow that. We'll also be talking about the important checklist, do's and don'ts during the course of this session. So what's the latest update as far as CUET UG 2023 is concerned? नया क्या हो गया है? So, intimation slip for city, which is about the exam center, has been released for those students who are appearing for the exam, which is starting 21st May till 28th May. So, for the other dates, which was earlier supposed to be 29th, 30th, and 31st May, now that has not been released. But at the same time, the days of the exam has been extended. So, we'll have 4 more days out there. 1st June, 2nd June, 5th, and 6th June have now been added to the calendar. In some of the places, not everywhere, but in some of the cities where there are large number of applicants. So I'm sure the bigger cities like Delhi NCR and other places will have more people writing the examination, more people appearing for CUT 2023. States like UP, Delhi, they had the maximum registration just like last year. So for those places, the number of days has been extended. We have 4 more days for the exam. And now the reserve dates, instead of being 1st to 7th of June, as it was planned earlier, there'll be two reserve dates, 7th and 8th of June, which means finally the exam gets over on 6th of June instead of 31st May. If there are no issues, if there are issues, probably if for some of the locations or for some of the days, for any reason, including technical issues, the new date has to be announced. So they have kept 2 dates reserved for that, which is 7th and 8th of June, which means 8 June को तो exam किसी भी तरीके से खत्म हो जाएगा. They would want that to happen because the results are to be announced in third week of June, so that universities go ahead and start their process of admission. Now, for those who have not received the city intimation slip, please don't worry. Even I checked today for myself. I have not got this slip right now, which means my exam would be starting from 29th onwards. You need not worry at all, actually. Just ensure that you are checking the application portal on a regular basis. Check tomorrow, day after as well, and ensure you have the exam center known earlier, the city known earlier, in case you might be required to travel to another city, because we have come across instances where students have been allotted a different city altogether, which they had not marked in their application form. While NTA has set a provision, you can write to them for change of centers, but whether it will happen or not, it's at the discretion of the NTA. So ensure that once you get the city intimation slip and the admit cards in place, ensure that you plan your travel accordingly, in just in case you have to move to another location. to give the examination. So that's the latest update about CUT 2023. Quickly moving on, before talking about the do's and don'ts, let us look at the last mile prep strategy. 3 दिन बचे हुए हैं, कुछ लोगों के लिए 4 दिन होगा, कुछ लोगों के लिए 5 दिन होगा, कुछ लोगों के लिए हफ्ता है. जिनके एग्जाम थोड़े delayed हैं, those who will be appearing in the second half during that particular schedule, they can consider themselves to be lucky because they have some more days. So what you should be doing, whether you have 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, or 10 days from now onwards, here are a few important things which I would like to quickly discuss. Number one, review the syllabus once again, which you are supposed to follow for the CUET examination. That's very, very important. Do not miss out. Last year, I came across students who were like, we have been asked questions out of the syllabus because we studied in CBSE board and deleted syllabus se bhi question aa gaya. Please understand, CUET has a specific syllabus of its own. You do not miss out on any component of that. Prioritize high weightage topics. While there is not much out there actually, but the important topics must be covered in next 3, 4, 5 days as part of your revision. Time management through mocks become very, very important. तो mock लिखो अगर नहीं लिख रहे हो already. वर्क ऑन योर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स. मॉक्स लिखोगे तो दोनों काम हो जाएंगे, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स की भी बात हो जाएगी, टाइम मैनेजमेंट भी प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगा, किस तरीके से टाइम स्पेंड करना है हर सब्जेक्ट के लिए. दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर्मूलेज हैं, कंसेप्ट्स हैं, उनको प्रैक्टिस कर लो, एक बार रिवाइज कर लो. मोर इंपॉर्टेंटली स्टे काम एंड कॉन्फिडेंट. दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एग्जाम डे स्ट्रैटेजी की अगर हम बात करें तो this is based on my last years of experience. Last year I appeared for almost 9 papers including language and GT, and I'm sharing my experience over here. Starting with language, देखो language will be a mix of vocabulary, grammar and comprehension. किसी भी language का पेपर होगा, चाहे वो English हो, whether या हिंदी हो, कोई भी language, whichever language you are appearing for as part of section 1, it will be a mix of grammar, vocabulary and comprehension. The grammar and vocab questions will not take more than 30 seconds if you are well prepared, which means you expect some 32 questions out there from these two areas of language, which means it should not take more than 16 minutes out of the 45 minutes allocated to you. So now you are left with 29 minutes. Attempt reading comprehension questions now. Each of the passages, there will be 3 passages followed by 6 questions each if they go by last year pattern, which means 6 to 7 minutes per passage is going to be good enough. And if you calculate that, that accounts for 21 minutes for the reading comprehension part. तो आपके पास अभी भी 8 minutes बच जाएंगे where you can revisit. Remember, you have to attempt only 40 questions out of 50. You are not supposed to mark beyond 40 answers for 40. So this is the strategy I would recommend for you. General test, quickly glance through the paper first. Know your sequence. आप numerical ability से start करोगे, general awareness से start करोगे या reasoning से start करोगे. That's your personal choice. There is no standard strategy. It depends on your strength area. That's very very important. आपका strength क्या है उसके ऊपर depend करेगा. If you start with the difficult part, if you start with a section which a part of the section which you are not most comfortable, say for example numerical ability, chances are that will lead to motivation. So always pick the scoring section first, जहाँ पे आप सबसे ज़्यादा score करके marks जल्दी ला सकते हो. Otherwise, go for general awareness. Not more than 20 seconds for each question would be required. Domain subjects, quickly glance through the paper in the first 2 minutes, like the GT paper. Know your sequence. यहाँ पे भी strength के ऊपर काम करना है. पहले उन topics के ऊपर जितने भी questions हैं जो आपका strength है, which you have worked upon, बहुत अच्छे से practice किया है, memorize किया है, उनको पहले attempt करो. Pick the easy questions first so that you get maximum scores in less possible time. तो जितने भी easy question दिखते हैं उनको पहले प्रायोरिटाइज कर लो, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. जितने आसानी से मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे, दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. डोंट लेट योर ईगो कम. कोई क्वेश्चन किसी कारण से नहीं सॉल्व हो रहा है, यू आर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व अ क्वेश्चन फॉर सम रीजन एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, क्विकली टेक अ कॉल, मूव अहेड, गो टू अनदर क्वेश्चन, ट्राई सॉल्विंग दैट. Don't waste your time in any particular question. It may be a tricky one as well. And ensure you keep last 5 minutes for review, which means your 40 questions should be completed in the first 40 minutes of starting the paper. Keep 5 minutes for review. If you want to come back to any particular question which you have marked for review and you want to have a look at it once again. So follow a very simple strategy. Always work with your strength. अपने strength के ऊपर काम करना paper के दिन, and that will help you maximize the score. Ultimately, what is the objective? The objective is very clear. जितना अच्छा स्कोर आ सकता है, कट ऑफ्स क्लियर हो जाएंगे यूनिवर्सिटीज के, get a good score, good percentile. That is what you are looking at. So work with your strength. That's very, very important. Let's talk about the checklist quickly. Admit card. Last I checked an hour ago, it was not released, but hopefully it will be released today. So take printout of your admit card for every shift. सारे shift शायद अभी allocate नहीं होंगे आपको, अलग अलग dates पे होंगे, तो उसके admit card subsequently issue होते चले जाएंगे. Please ensure you carry admit cards for every shift. Take a good printout every time. Photo ID card has to be carried, which could be a PAN card, driving license, voter ID card, passport, Aadhaar card, which contains a photograph. E-Aadhaar will work, but yeah, or that's conflicting because वहाँ पे mobile use नहीं कर सकते हैं. So I think while they have given that as part of instruction, you can always rule this out. If you have a ration card as identity card, beyond this, no other ID card is what they have told will be accepted. While the checklist also speaks about the photographs to be carried, and the photograph has to be identical to the one which you have submitted in the application form, I would suggest for every shift, carry two photographs. दे नीड यू टू कैरी वन फोटोग्राफ. एक फोटोग्राफ लेकर के जाना है वहां पे, जिसको आप अटेंडेंस शीट पे पेस्ट करेंगे व्हेन यू विल बी साइनिंग देयर. बट माय सजेशन वुड बी ऑलवेज टू हैव दैट बफर इन प्लेस. कैरी two identical photographs for every shift you are appearing for. Just in case you belong to the person with disability category, please carry the certificate issued by a competent authority. And if you are taking help of a scribe, the scribe must also carry an undertaking regarding the education qualification, a passport size photograph, and valid government identity proof. So very important for the people who are from the PWD category. ट्रांसपेरेंट बॉल पॉइंट पेन कैरी करना है. इंस्ट्रक्शन इज वेरी वेरी क्लियर. In case you are taking any medicines, carry that along with prescription. That is very, very important. Also, basic needs today in COVID time, while we are very comfortable nowadays, but please ensure health is important. You might be appearing different shifts. You cannot take risks. Carry a sanitizer bottle, small in size. The 50 ml is good enough. Wear mask all the time when you reach the venue or when you are inside the examination hall. And you are allowed to carry a transparent water bottle. Beyond this, nothing is allowed. Ladies in particular, do not wear any jewelry, including finger rings. Nothing is allowed inside. I'm talking from my experience last year. Boys out there, even the belts are not allowed. So please don't wear belts out there. Actually, you don't even need to carry a folder or a pouch. All these things will be kept outside. So unless you are being accompanied by your parent or some guardian, you won't even get a place to put those objects which are not being allowed inside the examination hall. So don't carry anything beyond what is given or asked for in the admit card. Iske beyond kuch bhi carry nahi karna. You might lose those objects because they are not going to provide you space for that. They are very clear. All the checks are done at the entry point itself, wherever your center would be. They don't allow to carry anything beyond what is mentioned in the admit cards or the rule books, actually, or in the information bulletin. So please ensure you are not carrying even a pouch or a folder or a belt you are wearing. No, nothing. So please ensure all this. Unnecessary last moment tension will happen, actually. What are the do's? I would say check all documents are in place, especially the admit card, the photograph, and the photo ID proof. They are always in your hand. They must be with you all the time. Reach 2 hours early to the examination center. Check your roll number out there and take your seat as early as possible. Settle down quickly. Settle down quickly. That's it's what I would say. And relax whatever time you have before the start of the examination. If you are into meditation, do that, but keep yourself relaxed. कोई tension नहीं लेना है. Do not panic once you start looking at the question paper. If you feel some questions are not doable, do not panic. Remember, you have to leave 10 questions anyway. 10 क्वेश्चन तो वैसे भी छोड़ने हैं ना. So these could be the possible questions, but do not panic. That is what I'm trying to help you understand over here. And most importantly, what I would advise is carry your positive attitude to the examination hall. I think more than anything else, that is something which is going to help you on the exam day. Do carry your positive attitude. You have already worked hard for last 6 months, a year, maybe in some cases. For most of you, you have started preparation last April itself, the moment you entered into class 12. So you already worked hard. Now you need to have that confidence in yourself. That is very, very important. Last moment jitters are always there. Last moment pressure is always there. But this is part of this, isn't it? This is part of it. You have given so many exams. You appeared for the board exams a month back, and you know this can happen, but it is that positive attitude of yours which is going to help you sail through in this situation. So don't forget to carry that in the examination hall. That's very, very important. What are the don'ts? क्या नहीं करना है, क्या नहीं लेकर जाना है? Photocopies of the ID cards are not accepted. They'll not be allowed. Scanned copy, mobile तो ले ही नहीं जा सकते हो. So photocopy भी allowed नहीं है, scanned copy भी allowed नहीं है. They are not considered as valid ID proof. So जो original documents उन्होंने मांगे हैं, सिर्फ वही लेकर के आप जाएंगे. At any point of time, do not panic. I already spoke about this a couple of seconds ago. You have worked hard for this. You have that confidence. That is very, very important. And I think one of the challenges is to ensure that you do not commit any silly mistakes. Remember, there is enough time for the papers. 45 minutes is good enough time. There are 6 subjects. If you're appearing for them, they have been allotted 60 minutes. Good enough time, actually. The calculative subjects, whether you talk about mathematics, accountancy, computer science, economics, physics, chemistry, all these 6 subjects have extra 15 minutes this time. You can appear, you'll get 60 minutes for 40 questions to be attempted. So there is nothing to panic about. Don't make silly mistakes. If you spend a minute on a question, that's good enough to complete the entire paper and will still save you 5 minutes to review, have a relook, revisit the questions once again. So you have time, I think, is not going to be a challenge. All you need to have that patience. That is something which is very, very important. So first and foremost is nothing to worry about. बहुत मेहनत किया है, बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत करके यहाँ तक आए हैं, तो कोई टेंशन लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Not at all you need to do is have that confidence in yourself. Prepare करते रहो. Quickly go through the checklist and ensure that you are revising. So next, whatever time you have, maybe 3 days, some of you may have your paper on Sunday, you have 2 days now. Continue your revision, but ensure you spend some quality time for yourself. Get into that movie mode, web series, kuch bhi. Don't always be into studies. Actually, that is something which is not going to help. अगर आप दिन रात वही सोचते हो तो enjoy your life at the same time, and more importantly, enjoy the exam when you're in the examination hall. That is something which is very, very important. So on behalf of the entire Career Launcher family, I wish you all the best for the CUET 2023 examination. I know you'll come out सक्सेसफुली out of this exam. आपने बहुत मेहनत किया और बहुत अच्छा करने वाले हो. That is what I know for sure, actually. We do have a couple of questions out here from dear students, so let me take a couple of them. Any idea if change of exam center is possible? Yes, what I would say is idea hai, chances ज़्यादा है कि नहीं होंगे, but still you should try. And especially those people who have been allotted a center, those who have got the city intimation slip and who have been allotted a center outside of the two cities which they had mentioned in the application form, you should definitely write to NTA. They might consider your application. Are the first 15 questions section A in maths paper compulsory? They are compulsory, but you can leave if you don't are not able to solve a couple of them, but try to attempting because the choice is available only for the other part of the mathematics paper B1 and B2. So here you should try to attempt all 15. Good enough time is available actually. They mention compulsory, but we have records from the last year जहाँ पे बच्चों ने attempt नहीं किया था. So I think read the instructions during the examination hall if there is any change out there in particular actually. So there could be a different instruction this time actually. What about the preference list of colleges? NTA will not release any preference list of colleges or something like that. Once the results are announced around that very same time, the universities will open their application portal. You need to ensure you applied each of the universities within the stipulated time frame actually. Will school ID card work? As far as the instruction which is given in the FAQ section of the CUET portal, they do not mention anything of the about the school ID card. Wait for the admit card. If it allows school ID card, please carry that. Will the computer warn or notify us that how much questions I have left? No, it will not warn you what you have left. But the moment if you try to attempt more, anything beyond 40, it will definitely warn you that you cannot attempt more than 40. So if you want to mark answer to this particular question, please erase from an earlier attempts actually. So that is what it will do. There will be a timer that will give you idea about how much time is left for each of the papers. You can look at the question number palettes. The color code will help you understand which question you have not visited and which question you have not attempted actually. Can someone attempt all 50? No, you cannot. You are not allowed to attempt beyond 40. The system has an algorithm in place which will not allow you. The moment you try for 41st, it will bring a pop-up which says you can't mark 41 answers, erase an earlier one. The count will always remain 40. In the general test, how much time will be getting? 60 minutes for the general test paper. If you want to give some type of mock test so that we come across paper where it will be found. So one way is to go to the NTA website and you can check last year papers and you can attempt them. That is available. They also release sample papers almost a fortnight back that you can check. I'm worried as I did not get my exam city slip yet. A lot of students have not got their exam city slip yet. Even I have not got my exam city slip yet. I checked it today afternoon itself. So nothing to panic about. Gradually, it will be released over the next couple of days. Don't worry. Do check the application portal, log in and check every day, twice at least. Can I apply for those university which I haven't filled in the CUT application? Yes, you can apply. That instruction is clearly mentioned to the universities and to the students in the information bulletin, page number 10. So you can do so. Scribe must carry. So for those who are from the PWD category, person with disabilities, and they are taking someone's help who can read the question, visually blind people actually for that matter, just to give an example, they need someone's assistance during the examination period. So that person who is assisting them is known as scribe, who should be less qualified than the candidate. So that scribe must carry all those educational qualification undertakings. How much cutoff for SRCC? 10%, 100 percentile, at least 2 to 3 subjects. Similar story for BCom owners. Top colleges, the cutoffs will be very, very high unless they make it a little difficult this year. Based on last year's, you need 100% marks out there. If you want to give some mock test, I can come across paper. One is you can take a CL test series or you can attempt the sample paper released by NTA, but that you can attempt over there, or you can download the previous year's paper and attempt in a physical format. Better take the sample paper or join a quick smaller test series like that of CL, which offers a 5 mock test series for different subjects as well. So, guys, once again, all the best, and I'm sure you'll all give your best performance. One point I'm reiterating: carry a positive attitude and enjoy the exam. Believe me, you'll all come out with flying colors. Thank you so much. All the best.